WinForms is dead. That's what every Reddit thread says. Every modern C Sharp developer on Twitter. Every blog post from 2022 telling you to rewrite your app in Maui or Blazor or whatever framework you got funding that week. So let me ask you something. If WinForms is dead, why did Microsoft ship it in .NET 8? Why do 28% of active .NET projects still use it according to JetBrains developer survey? And why are companies actively posting WinForms jobs right now in 2026? Either millions of developers are wrong or the internet is. I'm going to show you the actual data, building a live demo in WinForms to prove that it can still do in 2026 and give you a clear, honest answer. No hype, no tribal loyalty, just code and evidence. Let's set the scene. In 2026, you've got a .NET code base. Maybe it's a WinForms app from 2014. Maybe you are a junior dev picking your first desktop framework. Maybe you are just got a job offer that mentions WinForms and you are wondering whether to run. Here's what actually true about WinForms right now. 1. Microsoft's open sourced WinForms in 2019. It lives on GitHub. It gets commits every single week. The repo has over 3,000 contributors, and that is not the activity of a dead framework. 2. WinForms ships in every .NET LTS release, including .NET 8 and the upcoming .NET 10. Microsoft has committed to long-term support through at least 2029. 3. The job market. I searched LinkedIn and Indeed across the US, UK, and EU. WinForms appears in over 11,000 active job postings, WPF about 14,000, Avalonia around 1,200, and Maui roughly around 900. Does that mean you should build your next greenfield app in WinForms? Absolutely not. But does it mean WinForms knowledge is worth zero? The data says otherwise. The real question isn't is WinForms dead? The real question is, should you specifically learn or keep using WinForms given your situation? And that's what we are going to answer. Let me show you something. I'm going to create a new WinForms app from scratch. So let me go to File, New, Project or Solution, select WinForms and click Next. And let's leave the name as is and click on Next. I will select .NET 8 as it has long-term support and click on Create. So now I have a running desktop app, and if I run this app, you'll see that it instantly runs. Now all I have to do is just go to View, enable my toolbox, go to all Windows Forms control, just drag a button, double click on this button and just type message box dot show, and within the parenthesis, and when we run this, and you can see I have a functional app. Try doing this in Avalonia. You will spend the first 20 minutes setting up MVVM patterns and wondering why your binding isn't updating. That's not a criticism. MVVM is the right approach for your complex applications, but WinForms has a different superpower: speed to working software. Here's where WinForms absolutely excels in 2026. Internal tooling. If you are building a tool that your team uses internally, a data entry form, a bulk file processor, a database browser, WinForm is still one of the fastest way to get there. The Windows Designer and in Visual Studio is mature, battle tested, and requires zero XAML knowledge. Line of business applications: ERP systems, inventory management, legacy system for front ends. These apps care about function over form. WinForms delivers. Rapid prototyping. Before you write your full Avalonia or WPF application, you can validate your data model and business logic in WinForms in an afternoon. Maintaining existing code base. If you have got 2000 or 200,000 lines of WinForms code, The migration cost to anything else is enormous. Keeping WinForms and gradually modernizing it in a legitimate engineering decision? I don't think so. Now, let's be honest about the real limitations. Because this channel doesn't do hype, WinForms is Windows only. Full stop. If your app needs to run on Mac OS or Linux, WinForms cannot help you. You will need WPF, also Windows only, or you will need Avalonia, Maui, or Uno platform. Styling is painful. There is no native dark mode. You are either overriding every paint event by hand, like I did in that dashboard, or you are reaching to a third party library like Material Skin, Metro Framework, or Dev Express. Nothing wrong with those options, but it's extra work and extra dependencies. No data binding worthy of the name. WPF and Avalonia have MVVM and iNotify property change built in their DNA. WinForms cannot do it with community toolkit.mvvm, but it feels bolted on rather than native. Future sealing, if you talk about it, WinForms will receive support and bug fixes, but it's not getting major new releases or features. The Microsoft desktop investment is going into WinUI 3 and Maui. If you want to ride the cutting edge of .NET desktop, WinForm is in the vehicle. So where does that leave us? WinForms in 2026 is like a diesel Land Rover. It's not trendy, it won't win any beauty contests, but it starts every morning, it'll run for 30 years, and it does exactly what it says. Some people need a Land Rover, some people need a Tesla. Know which one you need. Let me give you a simple decision framework. Learn or keep using WinForms if your current job uses WinForms and you need to be productive now. If you are building Windows only internal tooling and speed matters more than beauty. If you are a .NET beginner who wants the fastest path to a running desktop app. And finally, if you are maintaining a legacy code base and migration cost is not justified. Move on from WinForms if you need cross-platform support, Mac OS, Linux, or mobile. If you are starting a greenfield app with a long roadmap. If you want a modern UI, animations, MVVM, data binding, and theming. And if you are targeting a consumer facing product that needs to be polished. In that second case, my recommendation is Avalonia UI. It has the best cross platform story of any .NET desktop framework. It's MIT license. It runs natively on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and its XAML is close enough to WPF that the transition is manageable. I've covered Avalonia versus WPF in my previous video, link is in the description. And if you are Windows only but want richer styling than WinForms, WPF is still the most mature choice. Established ecosystem, excellent tooling, and plenty of job market demands. Here's something worth sitting with. WinForms went open source in 2019. The full source code, every form, every control, every paint method is on GitHub under the MIT license. You can read it, fork it, fix it, and ship it. That's what digital sovereignty looks like in practice. Not just using free tools, but using tools whose entire foundation is visible to you. No black box, no subscription that can be revoked, no vendor that can end of life your workflow without warning. Whatever framework you choose, WinForms, Avalonia, WPF, if it is open source, you own your stack, and that matters more than any benchmark. So, is WinForms dead in 2026? No, it's specialized, it's alive, it's maintained, it's open source, and it has a genuine job market. But it has a ceiling that WPF, Avalonia, and Maui don't. If you know what you're building and WinForms fits, use it without shame. If you are starting fresh with cross platform ambitions, look at Avalonia. The source code for both demos in this video is linked in the description. The Visual Studio solution has two projects, the WinForms dashboard and the Avalonia comparison app. Clone it, run it, break it apart. This video help you make a more informed decision about your tech stack. The best thing you can do is hit the subscribe button. I put out honest evidence-based comparisons of .NET tools every week, no fluff. Drop a comment below. Are you still using WinForms in 2026 and why? I genuinely read every reply. See you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.